Welcome to the Spill in the Teacups podcast. Cheers, ladies.
Cheers, cheers.
Cheers. I'm drinking water, nothing special.
I'm drinking water in a wine glass.
I'm
All
drinking
right,
tea, but I wish it was wine.
Right? Welcome to the Spill in the Teacups podcast. We are your hosts, Jillian.
Dawn.
Lauren.
We are three authorized Disney vacation planners here to spill all things Disney. Today, we are going to continue our resort series and dive into one of Disney's value resorts, the All-Star Resorts. There's three of them, and we'll get into that. And we want to welcome our first guest of our podcast, April. And April is also a professional Disney planner. And please introduce yourself, April.
Hello, everyone. My name is April. I'm from New Jersey, so I wish I lived in Florida, though, but I go there as often as I can. I'm 28 years old, and I love Disney and Universal and just all things theme park, but definitely Disney the most is my favorite.
Wonderful. And we brought her on for this episode, particularly because she is our All-Star Resorts connoisseur, shall we say.
You could say so, sure. I love that.
Right. All right, so let's just dive into some plain and simple here. All-Star Resort, it is 3 resorts: music, movies, and sports. And it is our most budget-friendly of all Disney resorts at about, I found conflicting prices when I was kind of searching today, but I would say, correct me if you guys disagree, about $175 to $225 a night, depending on preferred versus standard or what time of year that you go. However, when discounts are released, like currently right now for end of summer, you can get about 15% off rooms. And I found a super cheap room, like $166 today, quoting for someone. And that's a really good deal, especially to stay on Disney property. Room size is about 260 square feet. Rooms include 1 queen and 1 Queen Murphy pull down. They do have king bed rooms, but from what I was researching, I found a blog that said that they like to limit these king rooms for handicap accessible rooms. So of course you can request it, but it's never guaranteed, as all things Disney's. You're never guaranteed. They'll never guarantee it. Transportation is solely the Disney bus system, which is complimentary for all Disney resort stays. And all 3 resorts have a food court, arcade, nightly movie under the stars next to their big pool, nightly campfires, weather permitting, and walking trail, which is like a sidewalk that goes, at least from what I saw, I walked it last week, and it was a pretty big, like wide sidewalk that went the span of the entire property. It is well lit and there's good signage, and they have crosswalks when you do have to cross the street. So it's a decent and safe, of course. Go ahead, Dawn.
All right, so All-Star Music opened in November 22nd, 1994. I did just look up to see if it had any recent renovations. It was closed for around a year and a half during the COVID time, so they updated their whole lobby. They didn't say anything about updating the rooms, but they said the lobby was updated for there. It has around 1,600 rooms featuring giant icons that played homage to classic music genres, including Broadway show tunes, calypso, country, jazz, and rock and roll. It was the first Disney Valley resort to feature any kind of family suites, which is really nice because I feel like when we book a lot of clients, they always are asking for the family suites. It's nice because it's closed off. There's more room, there's more space, especially for families of 5 that I've seen to run into. The resort features a music theme, and it's known for its giant novelty items such as giant guitars, trumpets, drums. It's all around the outside of the building, and it lights up at night, and it looks pretty cool, everybody says. I've never stayed there, but I've seen pictures and it looks pretty cool. And it does have a giant food court inside, which is really nice. But that's just little basics about All-Star Music.
And it's called the intermission food court. Because, like, get it? Intermission.
Oh, yeah. That does make sense.
There's also All-Star Sports, which is a go-to if you have little boys that are obsessed with sports. I've had a couple clients that just want to stay there simply because of the decor everywhere, the oversized statues and everything, like you were saying. It opened on April 29th, 1994, and it has roughly 1,900 rooms spread across 10 different buildings. So they're same style as what we were talking about last week, like Pop Century, the motel style with the doors on the outside. So you walk right out to your pool or a parking lot, wherever else. All three All-Star resorts are located on the southern portion of Disney World's property, and it's the only portion of the property that's located in Osceola County. Is that how you say it? The rest of it, okay. The rest of it is located in Orange County, and it obviously is sports themed and is decorated with things like Surfboard Bay, the big football field, the Grand Slam pool, tennis courts, and that giant football helmet you'll see some people take pictures in front of. And the food court there is called the End Zone Food Court.
I think it's Osceola, right, Dawn?
Oh,
Yeah, I think that.
The way she was saying it makes me about
That's
Ocala.
Like what? Osceola County. I will say, so I walked around All-Star Sports and I liked it. It's quiet, and the basketball, I would not ever want to stay in the basketball section. There's just those big basketballs all over the building, and please post it. I took a picture and shared it with you, Lauren, but it's like basketballs all over the building, and that's the gaudiest thing I've ever did see.
I like the football one.
It's super cute.
Yeah, I like the football one though. I think it's kind of cool. Also, one day when we have a ton of followers, they're going to come after us for all of the things we pronounce wrong all the time.
We're only human. We're not perfect.
Right.
Yeah.
All right, April, you've got the movies because that's where you stay most, right?
Yes. I've stayed at the movies, I think 3 times now in the course of like a year. So that's literally like my home base, I like to call it. So the All-Star Movies opened in January 15th of 1999. So it was the last one to open out of all of the All-Stars. So it literally goes sports, music, and then movies. And that's the actual order that they're in too. So this hotel has 1,604 rooms, which is amazing. It accommodates a lot of people, which they all do. And they're built around fun, which we love. And it's located on the southern portion of Walt Disney World property, next to Animal Kingdom. This is like the Animal Kingdom. These hotels are the Animal Kingdom zone. So that's the park you're going to be closest to. Not too far from Hollywood Studios, though, which is my favorite park.
Mm-hmm.
So the food court that they have is the world premiere food court, movie themed. There you go. All of the food courts are pretty much the same food, and it's all very like basic, very American food, burgers, hot dogs, fries, there's pizza. There's a bay for different things. You've got like the pizza and pasta bay, which is really great. You've got like the burgers, hot dogs, fries, like chicken sandwiches. And you've got like the section with like the refrigerated items you can grab and go, which is really great too. And they have some plant-based options, which is great because I'm vegetarian. They have the Impossible Burger, and they also have a plant-based tuna salad, which I have not adventured to try yet. And I don't think I will. We can leave that there. We don't have to talk about that.
I had the plant-based meatloaf when I was there last week.
Okay, did you like
not
it?
Bad. It was not bad.
I like
what I like about Disney
too, so I like that. Good to know.
Plant-based is great. And what I like about Disney is they have the contract with Impossible Meats, which in my opinion is the best out of all the plant-based. So that's a slay. I love that. They also have a little bar by the pool. It's like outside of the pool area, but it's called the Silver Screen Spirits Bar. And right next to it, you can also find the area where you watch the movies at night. It's really cute. It's enclosed. It's open, but it's like enclosed. It's very cute. And then, of course, the gift store is Donald's Double Feature Store. Again, movie theme, so cute. And there's always a nice older man. I don't know his name, but I know he's always there. And he's got the little Donald, and he always waves to me in the morning. I look forward to it very much. And then, of course, there's an arcade. Real Fun, REEL, real Fun Arcade. So that's great, too. Movies is my favorite, though. I've stayed at sports. I've never stayed at the music, but I did walk over there with my mom this year just to see what it was like. Fun fact, if you're staying in all the way down, so like the preferred rooms at movies It's going to be Toy Story. I do believe it's a portion of Dalmatian and Fantasia. Because you've got Toy Story, you've got Fantasia, Dalmatian, then Mighty Ducks, which I've stayed in. I do like the Mighty Ducks area because it's quiet. And then behind Fantasia, you have Herbie. So you get to see the love bug. I've never been down that area, but I've seen pictures of it. But I know it's not preferred. It's considered just a regular standard room. But if you're staying all the way in Mighty Ducks, that's the farthest from where the buses are. You can literally just walk over to the music right next door, literally just like a stone throw away. You can just catch the buses from there. No one says anything because you're right there. So it's great. Right? That's fun because Mighty Ducks is all the way in the back. Like it's all the way in the back.
Yeah.
So you can just, I mean, you can walk to the buses, obviously, but music is literally closer. You could just walk to the music buses.
And maybe you know this question that you thought of buses. Is it one
Mhm.
bus system that goes to music, sports, and movies? Or is it I believe it's a bus will take you to music and then another bus takes you to movies, right? They each have their own bus system.
That's correct. I think there are times where you can essentially share a bus because it has happened before. It only happened once.
Okay.
And all the time I've stayed there, it's only ever happened once. But you're all separate at the different theme parks. You got, movies, music, and then sports. And always those are the most crowded buses, and they're always the farthest out of the way. There's always a bus waiting behind another bus to pick you up. So don't worry about that. Those buses, they always have several coming to accommodate everybody because those buses are packed.
It's a popular resort that is only, bus only. So those buses do get packed.
Actually, you see that all the time too. When you're waiting for a bus, they always have buses coming for the All-Star hotels. For the other hotels, you could be sitting there waiting for 30 minutes and they're sorry, but All-Star always has them. That's true.
And I will say their bus locations are usually so far. Like when you're walking, like when you're leaving Magic Kingdom, the All-Star bus is like way.
Yeah. Like, come on, you got to make me walk another mile to the bus.
Yes, you
I
do.
just read something about that all like the value ones are the farthest away. They want
sometimes I feel like Pop Century will like sneak in there, like Epcot, because Epcot's is kind of lined. Sometimes they'll sneak on in there, but I felt like I was just catching the bus. I was doing like resort hopping, and I just was catching the bus to All Stars to go check it out. And as I'm walking to, way over to the literally like the last station, I kept thinking about like, is this how like the lower deck people felt like on the Titanic? Like,
yes. That's what my mom says. That's what she's like, every time we walk to the bus, she's like, we're steerage, April. I'm like, oh my God. Every time. She's like, April, we're steerage. That's why they're making us walk so far. I'm like, oh my gosh.
Yes. Coming from my bougie behind who's like,
but it's so funny though, because it's like at the end of the day, who has the last laugh? They have more money to spend on food and snacks and merchandise.
Facts.
You know what I mean?
That's true.
I loved it.
I want to just, if it's okay. Oh, go ahead.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you.
It's okay. It's so hard with the recording. I was just going to say that I loved it when we stayed there with the kids just were obsessed with it because all the statues, the Toy Story stuff, they thought they were in Andy's room, like running through these huge, like bigger than life statues. So even again, I said this about Art of Animation too, if you can't stay there, go there and check it out because kids will get a kick out of it.
Yes. I got a kick out of it. And that was my first time. I'm 36 and I, went there for the first time, a week ago.
And that cupcake. Cupcake.
I'm not a cupcake fan, but
they have this cupcake there that's like a caramel icing with pretzels on it and popcorn on top, so it's like movie themed.
Lauren loves her sweets.
Don't tell my dad that. Don't tell my dad.
I'll tell your dad and he'll lose another tooth biting into it.
He'll be so excited. He loves the cupcakes. He like literally, I'll be like, Dad, where are you going? Oh, I'm going to get a cookie, April. I'm like, okay. He loves them.
So
he loves them. He was obsessed. Oh, what I wanted to say was branching off on what you said about the pricings of the All-Stars. That was absolutely correct. But I was looking in August because August is the cheapest time I feel like to go, one of the cheapest times to go to Disney. You can get a room there in August for around $116. I've seen it. You can go even cheaper. Of course, you're going to have to fight the heat,
Uh-huh.
but you can do it. I have seen it happen, but you will have to fight the heat.
It's like August and
You can
January.
choose.
Those are like the
Yeah,
lowest.
you can get it really cheap. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Anyone else have any favorites? Plus or
So
minus?
April, did you say why is it your favorite?
Well, okay, I've stayed at the sports. That was the first one we ever stayed at because we got like back in 2019, we got like the package with the dining. It was the whole thing. We stayed in touchdown. So we had a preferred room. It was right by the food court. I'm not a sports gal. So to me, I had a great time. I had a great time, but like the theming of the movies, I love it because I love movies. I love seeing all the movie pictures in the lobby. And also, I'm so biased because I love Phantasmic, and the pool is Sorcerer Mickey. It's the Fantasia
So
pool.
cute.
He's there, and like it's coming out of like the water's coming out of his hands. I love it. Like I fangirl at the pool. It's just cute. Like I love the theming. I love movies. I've never seen Mighty Ducks a day in my life, but I, always seem to end up in that section. Or we stayed at Toy Story this time though, because we paid for a preferred room. But it's great. And also out of all of them, that one's the more like it's the bougier one, if you will. It's
Okay.
a little bit nicer. It's a little bit nicer.
I
A
also
little bit.
I feel like with remember what I was saying last week about Pop Century, where I felt like the theming is over the top, but it wasn't Disney theming. Whereas like when you're staying at an all-star hotel, you maybe not sports, maybe not music as much, but the movies, you really feel like
Movies,
you're in
yeah.
Disney. It's got,
Movies is all, yeah.
yeah,
Movies is
it's
all
definitely,
literally just Disney in your face.
Yeah.
yeah, exactly.
When
And
you have
and
clients,
kids, for kids, that's great.
yep, when you have clients taking kids, like your kids' age, my kids' age, and they're just like, we want to be in Disney. Because I have been asked that before. Is it Disney enough?
Yeah.
If I want to put them at Port Orleans,
Yeah.
right? Which
Yeah.
Port Orleans we'll get to is one of the best, I think. And it's just like,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, but it's a really great resort. The location's great, the room is great, but they're like, yeah, but is it Disney enough? I'm like,
Yeah.
no.
Yeah.
But
Exactly.
all right.
They're all great. I do think that the movies, though, is definitely, in my opinion, this. I always will fight to get the movies out of all of them. I'll move it if I know it's going to be a different one. I'm like, no, I want the movies because it's great. It's
And is
just
it
so good. I
worth
love
it?
the hotel.
Is it worth it to pay preferred?
Yeah,
Like to stay
because I
preferred versus
think
standard?
absolutely, because especially that hotel is so large. Those like in the back standard room sections, they're in the back. Like you're gonna have to like, and they're so far from the food court. I like to have everything where I can the preferred rooms are right there. So
Mm-hmm.
they're just like a stone throw away, which is if you want to pay the extra 40 or $50, not even, I think it's like 30 or 40, do it because it's closer. You don't have to walk as far and you've got the food court to refill your mugs. You don't have to walk. There's two pools though at the resort because the Mighty Ducks pool is very quiet. I call that the adult pool. Last time I was in it though, a child did throw up in it and I did have to leave. And I was very upset because I was trying to relax and the kid threw up and I was like, oh my God. And I was really upset, but it's okay. I went in the other pool, but it happens. They were having fun and they were roughhousing, but I was so upset. My mom walked down the steps and I just pointed at her. I said, no, go back. I said, we have to leave. The kid puked, but it was fun. It was a good time. Good memory. I'll never forget that.
The the other question with it being an external door,
Mhm.
and Lauren, you can speak on this too, because Dawn and I have not stayed here. Is it loud? Because you know how sometimes those doors, especially
No,
external doors, are slammy.
no, I didn't think so. I actually thought the hotel was super quiet. I was really surprised at how quiet it was, actually. And early. I thought, maybe around 9 o'clock we would hear noise till maybe 9, 10 o'clock. But that night we were leaving the next day, so we went to bed pretty early and it was very quiet. So no, I don't think so. And those doors, like back to like having kids with you, those doors are really, really, really heavy. So at first I was a little bit scared of same thing at Pop Century, that like they could walk right out to the pool. If you're in a preferred room, you're right in front of the pool. So I mean, even though there's a fence there, I was just, there's lakes everywhere, and
It's
I was a
mom
little bit nervous.
psychosis.
Yeah, but no, those doors are so heavy. A kid is not opening those doors,
Okay.
and they're quiet. The rooms are quiet, and the beds are comfy. They're
They
very
really are.
comfy.
I feel like I'm sleeping on a cloud. I never want to leave the bed. It's nice.
Yeah, and
Yeah,
even the Murphy bed is really comfortable too. It's the
I
same kind
like
of
that
setup
one.
as Pop Century.
Yeah.
It's a good time. The beds are really comfortable. I forgot to mention that. I will say the pillows are a 10 out of 10 too.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah.
All
Really
right.
good.
I think that sums about it. Thank you so much for coming, April.
Oh,
Laura,
thanks for
you
having
want to
me.
read us our quote?
Sure. Laughter is timeless, imagination has no age, and dreams are forever, from Walt Disney.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
April, where can people find you?
So people can find me on Instagram and on TikTok. On Instagram, I'm Journey Beyond Magic Vacations. That's my handle. And on TikTok, you can just find me at It's April D. But I'm very active. I try to be active on TikTok. I like to do a lot of eating videos on there of different plant-based things of what I eat in a day at Disney. But yeah, you can find me on either one of those.
That is awesome.
Awesome.
Well, thank you guys so
Thank
much
you.
for listening and watching our podcast. Next week, we continue our resort series, and I changed it up a little bit and I bumped up Boardwalk on our list because Lauren just got back from Boardwalk, and I thought that it would be a fantastic time to bring that one to the forefront.
Yeah, I'm like hoarding a bunch of pictures to show everyone until our episode. I have so many things to say. I'm so excited, and I can't wait to talk about that. So that really excites me.
Yes,
But we're
and
also going to do
go ahead.
food and wine, right? Because I was there for opening weekends. We covered everything, so we have a lot to say about that. So we're going to do a mini-sode.
Yes, and Dawn, you were there with her?
No, but we'll be back I'll be back with her at the end of August.
Oh, okay, awesome. So anything that we need to be tried or reviewed, you'll be able to snag it there in a couple weeks. Awesome.
Yes.
Fantastic. All right, don't forget to follow us on Instagram at Spillin the Teacups and listen wherever you prefer to listen to your podcasts.
Thanks,
Bye, guys.
guys.
Bye. Have
Cheers.
a good night.